Okay, folks, an array. An array is declared just like a variable. It needs a data type. The name of the array has to follow all the rules that C++ requires. Like you can't start a variable name with a digit or a symbol. And so here we have an array named scores. And the data type that it's holding is integers. But where an array is different from a normal variable is that it has the capacity to hold more than one number. In this case, the length of this array is 5. So you use square brackets and you type the desired length in the square brackets. You could have an array of length 2. You could have an array of length 2000. As much memory as you have on your computer, you can pretty much make an array of any size. But you can't put a question mark in there or leave it empty. It's got to be a fixed size, and you have to declare it up front. In this case, we have an array of length 5. By default, in this particular example program, 5 garbage numbers will be stored in this array in the 5 positions. But you see right here with this sequence of CN statements, the user has a chance to enter 5 individual grades, scores in this case. Notice the notation, square brackets 0, square brackets 1, square brackets 2. So as the person types in numbers when they run the program, the numbers that they input will be stored into each of these 5 numbered positions within scores. Hey Shane, what's your grade on a scale of 0 to 100 here? 89, nice, I like that. Didn't want a 90, but got a high B. Ben? Okay. I'll give you an 84 since you were cocky. Dan? Okay, nice guy. Took the lowest grade in the class at the time, so I'll give him a 98. John? Okay, you thought you were going to get a 95 by saying that, but no, I'll give you the 85. And Carly? No, 60. Okay, so we have 5 inputted numbers stored into 5 positions of the array in the order that they were inputted using these numbers. The weird thing is that the numbering of an array starts at 0, and that's just the way it is. Get used to it. So later in the program, if you want to retrieve, say, Dan's grade, Dan happened to be the grade in position 2, even though he's the 3rd person in this row right here. Counting Shane as 0 and Ben as 1, Dan, you're really in position 2, you're 98. So that's the hardest thing with arrays, to remember that they start numbering at position 0. Now I hit the enter key, and this demo program, you can see, prints out the average, 83.2 of those 5 numbers. And that's performed just by manually adding up the 5 numbers and dividing by 5. Hey, what would happen if we divided by 5 instead of 5.0? Would it round it or chop it off? Let's try. Well, I don't remember the numbers that I inputted. 89, 84, 98, 85, and 60. Let's run the program again and see if we get 83.2 with 5 typed in here instead of 5.0. Okay, looking for an 83.2, and we get an 83 because of integer division right here on this line of code. You either type 5.0 there, or to remind you from earlier in the semester, we learned that we can typecast as well by typing the word double in there like so. Any questions from this first demo program on using an array to store 5 numbers? If we didn't use an array, we would have been forced to think up 5 variable names like Shane's grade, Ben's grade, etc. Can anybody see the improvement of using an array over variable names like that. It takes up fewer lines of code. The same amount of memory is being used to store the 5 numbers, though, behind the scenes. But yeah, less space in your code window. Any other efficiencies down the road by using this rather than personalized variable names? Saves time. I don't have to think up interesting variable names and even know your names, your personal names. And now this program can be copied and pasted and used in other CompSci 101 courses that I teach next semester, the semester after that, at another college, in another lifetime, etc. So I just depersonalized this class by taking your names out of it. Who cares about Shane's first name, really? You're at Penn State. You should have went somewhere else if you wanted professors to remember your name, like some small college with 3 students. In the real world, this is what we do. We use arrays in this kind of a program.